Welcome everybody to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast, and in this video we're going to give you our review for Thanksgiving, directed by Eli Roth. Thanksgiving was a feature in the Grindhouse movies directed by Rodriguez and also Quentin Tarantino, so really great to see this come to fruition. Just like the movie Machete, this is a really interesting movie, not as bad as I thought it would be. Dylan, without further ado, why don't you give us your thoughts?
It was definitely a feast for the eyes.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, to be honest. It definitely feels like his other horror movies like Hostel and Green Inferno and Cabin Fever. He definitely has this something about his style he always does with his horror movies, but it was interesting, and it kind of follows this trend of a slasher on a holiday.
Yeah.
I thought the kills were pretty creative. I'm not gonna lie, they were really interesting, and I keep hearing the same thing, like the practical effects were pretty good, which I have to agree with. The casting was so-so. We had Patrick Dempsey and like a few familiar faces here and there, but I wasn't like thrown away. Sometimes the jokes were like hit or miss for me. Sometimes, that's a thing. I kind of treat horror movies now like comedy. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but sometimes like there were like laughable moments in it. Maybe just because like the concept is so fucking ridiculous, like I treat it like it's a joke anyway.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I thought it was an okay film, passable. How would you?
I agree. The thing I like about Eli Roth is that he pays a lot of homage to movies from the 80s, 70s of just like horror movies and stuff like that. So I see why he kind of centers the screenplay a little bit like that. A lot of the dialogue comes off like that. I don't think that the influencers here were as bad. I think Addison Rae was all right. So for the most part, I think this movie, it's a little bit tropey, but for some reason, I don't know, they do it in a way where, it's Eli Roth's flavor, but it kind of comes out sometimes as a little bit more tasteful than I thought. And I thought that actually surprised me. I was like, oh, okay. The little twist I'm not going to spoil it, but the little twist at the end, for me at least, I saw it coming a mile away. But
for sure,
for the most part, it wasn't a bad flick,
I kept thinking of Valentine's Day for some reason with the minor. It just had like the same flavor almost, and it is centered around Thanksgiving, which, to be honest, is kind of a new face for horror, because like we don't usually get things around November. It's usually either like Halloween or Christmas, so it is kind of refreshing to see something come out like this time of year, because usually Thanksgiving is like a very wholesome time of year. So to see it kind of like brought in this kind of light, I thought was at least somewhat interesting, but I think it just came off as too generic for me. Like it could have easily just been like another Scream movie for me, because it is kind of like a mystery, like a whodunit, kind of like murder mystery in a way. So it didn't add anything new in that regard, but I still think the way in which they pulled out some of the gore was creative, and it's probably the strength of this movie.
And practical effects too, because Eli Roth's like a big fan of that. So all in all, I think the movie, I agree with what you're saying. How would you rate this movie?
I would probably give it a 7 out of 10. I still had some fun with it, and that's the thing I kind of equate movies now. It's like if I have a good time with it now, I don't expect much of it, because, well, I'll be honest, most of the horror movies we reviewed this past year have been kind of ass. So at least this offered like some entertainment value to me. So I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. How about you?
Interesting, Clevy. I think I'm actually gonna give this movie 8 out of 10. Again, it's some stuff we've seen before. I think it's an okay watch. I don't think it's memorable, but I think still it's not as bad as I thought it would be. This film suffered from not actually being marketed as much. I haven't seen much for this movie, and it actually came by pretty fast, because the first trailer was like not too long ago. So
catch you fuckers at a bad time.
So I don't think this will really do well in the box office. It's no wonder they didn't actually release this film on Thanksgiving Day.
They're starving.
They're starving, right? They didn't even get to eat that much. Well, here at the lunch table, at least you guys get a good meal, and we have a lot of more content coming your way. So if it's your first time on this channel, please check out our content. We have a lot of reviews for everybody and a lot of different videos. But without further ado, Dylan, why don't you take us away?
For sure, yeah, guys, check out plenty of reviews. We do plenty of horror, plenty of similar titles. We've done a lot of stuff this month. I hope you guys will check out some of our content because we love you guys. We love reviews so much, and we do a lot of different stuff on this channel. Game Awards is coming up, so just keep that in mind. We got something special planned for you guys.
Yes.
Akram is boiling right now. But yeah, stick with us. Let us know what you thought of this movie. Like this video if you enjoyed the content, and sub to the channel if you liked us, or if you didn't.
I hope you did.
But anyway, guys, until then, happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for having lunch with us.
Happy Thanksgiving. See you guys. Shut up. Shit. Yeah, too loose. Cause you fucking said a bad time.